Hello, everybody, to episode 9 of Voices of Enoch. Today we'll be discussing the latest patch notes and overall improved stability of the game. Myself, dudewithablunt, and Capo have not been able to test this new patch, but we have our subject expert matter Maffeine here, and he'll start us off. Maffeine, my man, let's get to it.
All right, so Tuesday we were surprised with a patch, and I truthfully think that they should stick with that going forward. You know, don't give us like a release date on patches, but so we're not like, oh, well, but we were supposed to get it today. So I don't know, it's kind of refreshing, just getting the news Tuesday. Like, by the way, there's a patch today. But yeah, so it was more like a quality of life / fixes type of patch than anything. So anyone that's played Scorched Lands, if you're not host and you run down into the lake in like the last portion of the map, your game glitches out, you're stuttering everywhere. Well, I can confirm after being in that lake, it no longer does that. So I mean, it's
completely fixed. There's no stuttering anymore.
Yeah, none at all.
Nice.
Yeah, it's very, very smooth.
Good for speedrunning as well, because that part would be quite,
Yeah,
everybody
pyros
has
can't go
experienced
down
that.
there at all. And I feel like it probably doesn't affect technos as bad since you're shooting from range, but
I still kinda
pyros
feel
might have more
bad,
use.
Yeah.
They also fixed the stutter that would happen when fighting crawlers. So, like if there was 2 crawlers on screen for console folks, our game would like give some visual lag, and it is fixed. So that's
Good quality of life change as well.
Yeah.
Did you try Stargrave?
Yep, I tried Stargrave. Yep, and everything was fine. Also did Coliseum. No stutter on either of those encounters.
Nice.
So they fixed the privacy setting where you'd have your party close, and then wasn't it if you would like leave a party or something, it would default it to open?
Yeah. If you leave a party like with your friends and you go to your own lobby, it would leave it open.
Yeah, that no longer happens. I did test that. So it stays closed, which I mean, quality of life, that's not a bad thing by any means. They also added an AFK status for players on friends lists, and I also discovered that if you hover over somebody's name, you can see like what world tier they're on and what level they're on, and that's not stated anywhere in the patch notes either.
I mean, that's useful, so you don't invite somebody that's in the middle of an expedition.
Mm-hmm.
An expedition.
Yeah, apparently there's
Definitely
something else
have not done that before.
Apparently there's something else that was buffed that wasn't in the patch notes.
Oh yeah, are you talking about what Maffeine linked earlier?
Grand opening? Is that what you're talking about?
No. I'm
Correct,
talking about Devastator?
Oh, you're speaking about Impale.
No. Despair 1.5 is now 2.0.
Oh,
Really? That's a significant buff, especially for how good Despair is.
interesting.
Maybe it's more of a tooltip fix than a buff. That's what I'd argue.
Nah.
Yeah.
It got buffed.
Yeah.
Where's the source, Capo? Where's the source? Where's the source?
What's the
Where's
proof?
the source? Yeah, show us the proof.
They shot me screenshots, so I was like,
Who's
oh,
they?
okay, thank
Who's
you.
they? Who's they?
Well, I'm not gonna put their name. You guys don't know them. It's just somebody that comes to the channel and said DM me and say, yo, this has happened. Here you go. I don't know if they know, but I'm gonna keep it on the low. And he showed me damage numbers previously and then showed me what it was after the patch, and I was like, oh.
I mean, it's possible that a buff that is for the future got slipped into the patch. That's happened before. Let's be real.
Yeah, that has happened before. So yeah,
That's
not bad.
That's not even a shadow buff. That's just literally a buff that wasn't listed.
Yeah,
Yeah. I mean, I wouldn't be. It happens. They got different builds on their servers, and that change slipped into the release build by accident. It happens.
So, I guess that kind of goes with the grand opening mod. Like Palm was using that earlier, and it seems like it's hitting much harder now.
No, actually, I think the bug is that it's just working on every shot?
Yeah, instead of reload, like you just shoot the gun, works, shoot the gun, it works, shoot the gun, it works.
Yeah, yeah.
No
So they're gonna
reload
fix
required.
that.
Yeah,
They're
they're
gonna
definitely
fix
gonna
that.
fix that.
So it's gonna get back down.
What would that look like on an assault rifle?
Well, there's still the CD on it, right? Like the mod still has
you're
its
right, you're
native
right,
CD, so it's not on every shot.
Here, I thought it would have been kind of hot on every shot, just to see a map full of. It crashed the game. It crashed the game. Sorry, we're going a bit off topic here. My bad.
And also, scrap grenade works on every shot at the moment.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wait, no. That's grand opening, isn't it?
No, scrap.
Oh,
There's
the
a video
wrong
of it
one.
too.
My bad. Scrap grenade is the one that works on every shot. Yeah.
Oh, not grand opening. Okay. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, grand opening's like hitting harder now or something.
Let's see. Sorry, I retract what I said earlier.
No.
Scrap grenade.
The video palm linked is unrelated to the patch. I'm pretty sure.
Oh,
Is
gotcha,
it?
gotcha.
Okay. Well, there's a grand opening mentioned in the patch as well. But it just says that fix a bug that could cause certain mods like grand opening to not proc if the player was on their last magazine.
Palm is also saying instead of getting more grand opening shots, you get more damage while also getting more shots. So that's interesting. I'll take it. It's a buff. Even if it's a bug, it's a bug buff.
Makes you wonder if there's any other like sneaky things that were like.
Oh, sneaked into the patch. Yeah.
Well, no, but the
Yeah.
damage, to be fair, Maffeine, like the damage you saw in that clip is because they were fully debuffed. So,
Right.
so it's like it's not
Yeah,
doing anything
true.
new. So just spawn testing stuff.
True. Very true.
But yeah, scrap
I
grenade
do-
is bugged and it works on every shot, or at least on the native CD.
Ooh,
So
I
I-
like this. Ooh, sorry, go ahead.
Well, so that it mentions they fixed a bug that could cause client shots to sometimes not deal actual damage to enemies.
That's hot.
I played off host for like majority of the time that I played, and usually when I connect to BOS, it's either a red or a yellow bar. I had no connection status at all, and this was like across like 2 or 3 different days. Like I just thought, patch just came out, people are on New World, people just aren't really on here. Maybe it's like it's just running smoother plus maintenance, and over a couple days it is still the same, still just as smooth, still no connection differences or anything. And I mean I didn't notice any weird like no rag moments or anything.
That's pretty hot.
So,
That's something
yeah.
that I'll probably get on a test with like Palm, especially because
I mean, actually, I got a great test, Full Metal. I'll be doing duos with Full Metal, and I can test
Oh yeah,
how
yeah,
good
that
it
works
is.
too.
Because he lives in Australia, which is literally on the other side of the earth.
Oh yeah, that's perfect.
I would still think it'd be pretty. I don't know. You know what I mean? Maybe in closer like distances, it probably got a little bit better. But like I would think if it's that far of a gap, you'll still get like your 180 ping kind of thing. It's just that's distance there. I don't think you can get that down any lower. But
Well, sure,
could
but I
be
mean,
wrong.
you know what I mean. Like if they did
Yeah.
improve it, that's the best situation to tell.
How's the Broodmother's AOE, Maff? How does that look now?
I actually really like what they did with that. So there's the area that the AoE covers, there's like a light blue ring that goes around the AoE effect. So you can 100% see it. Like you're never stepping in the AoE mess ever again.
That'll be hot to see.
And
The
I don't know,
next
it kind of
one-
makes me optimistic with them doing all this, because I feel like there's a lot of different quality of life things they can do, and this is definitely like little steps in the right direction. A little late, but steps in the right direction nonetheless. Yeah,
yeah,
So the next one as well is a big thing, because we've been wanting this forever. The Devastator's Impale doesn't waste our time anymore. It's like 10 plus seconds, if not more, and now we're it's instant.
Good.
Oh yeah,
Right.
no, this is massive. They literally fixed the ability.
Yeah. I think their original intention with the ability was flawed, if that's what their original intention was. But this is how it should have worked. Especially, when you're basing things around timers, you can't let an ability dictate that long. Like Double Bomb, whatever. It's not that big of a deal. But Impale was just on a different level of annoyance.
Nah, I mean, I'm pretty sure it is a technical limitation that forced this to happen. Because basically, right, the way Impale works is it gives a buff based on the enemy that's on the Impale. So they kept the enemy there to give the buff, right? So that's the reason.
Oh, I see. See, Devastator noob, I really don't know much. Thank you, Big Daddy.
Same.
Math.
Just
What buff does Impale give?
it gives like health regen if you kill an enemy with it, I think, or something similar to that.
But Cap, are you talking about what, like the change in the patch? Or are you talking like what Impale does do? Okay.
Yeah. Because I thought I heard him say Impale gives a buff. Like that's why they would keep it on the.
Creating a zone that grants a powerful bonus to armor and health regeneration to all allies in the range for 9 seconds.
I see.
Just
Never realized that was a thing.
Yep, that's the whole reason why the skill bugged out.
I love you, but I'm gonna pause those during the podcast. Shouldn't I don't know why it come up twice either. I think it's bugged a little bit.
Huh.
So the Devastator's reflect bullet skill will now protect from the evil bird's projectile attacks. I've not tested that, and I don't know anyone that has tested that. I'm being entirely honest.
I mean, yeah, there was a bug that certain attacks would kill you harder if you had reflect bullets on. So hopefully that's what they're fixing.
Oh, I can't pause those. Never mind. Just don't use them.
Like if you put up reflect bullets and a venomous perforal shot at you, you get one shot basically.
Ew. Pyromancer's Phoenix Nestling. Is that the thing where you like revive or no?
Yeah, you revive like once every 3 minutes.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever used that ability before.
Yeah, I think I'm glad it's fixed though, I suppose.
Well,
Sounds like
basically
it
it got
stronger.
nerfed. Yeah, basically it got nerfed.
Wait, did it get nerfed?
Yeah, so before
you're right, it did get nerfed.
HP,
yeah, I see now.
it was
Math
a
is
bug,
hard
but
right
now
now, guys. Math is
back
hard
to
right
doing-
now, sorry.
It's back to doing what it actually did. It said it did in the new.
No, that's good. Sorry, I misread that.
Okay,
I didn't know
also
this
we
was a
have-
thing, the thermal bomb. I really didn't know that was a thing.
Yeah,
thermal
yeah,
bomb.
I
Fix the
mean,
bug.
This is definitely like rubber banding, right? So I've
Yeah,
noticed this,
yeah.
but I didn't know it was a thing, honestly.
I just thought it
Fix
was
the bug that
connection
caused
related.
players to be teleported back into cover if they use thermal bomb shortly before exiting cover. That's interesting. Yeah, I can see that being a multiplayer issue as well.
But I mean, that's definitely something that people noticed in the campaign because, using cover.
Yeah, true. Damn.
Oh, okay, fix the bug that was preventing players from reviving themselves and other players after using the borrow time skill. I mean, that's just, That was
a lot of
pretty
people was
common
annoyed by
bug.
this. Yeah.
This
was definitely like when Outriders was more, when it had more Outriders. Haha. This was something that was posted on Reddit daily. I think like I would wake up, go to Reddit, and just see that post like almost daily. But yeah, glad it got
these
fixed as well.
changes. These changes would have been so good a
I
month
know.
ago, or
I
a few
know.
months
See,
ago.
it's not even a month ago. Like
5 months.
the
ago,
game
6
should have
months ago.
launched. The game should have launched now, like with all these fixes in place right now.
True. Yeah.
Right now, because you said the multiplayer experience was better, which is, in a nutshell, amazing. But I understand publisher, deadlines and all of that, and I'm sure PCF knew that maybe the game wasn't ready to be fully launched, but it was in an okay-ish state, but definitely wasn't in an okay-ish state at launch at all. But yeah, if this was the patch that the launch was launched on, I think it would have been hot, and the community wouldn't be, so I guess low. Versus,
but yeah,
it could have retained a lot more, I suppose.
We can skip, some of these changes and go straight to ammo mod stacking.
Yeah. The other changes, if you guys want to read, I'll go ahead and put a link in the description to the full patch notes. They're pretty they're not as important to note. It's not game breaking or anything like that. But go ahead, Big Dad. You can start off on the big one.
All right. So basically, during the whole life of the game, you could put on an ammo mod like Toxic Lead, for example, right, and mod over it, and it would stay active for that session, right, as long as you didn't return to lobby or anything like that. the mod would stay active even if you didn't have it on. And this has been a thing with a lot of mods, as you can see on the patch notes. Brain Eater, Clip of Amalthea, Perpetuum Mobile, Vampiric Mag, Toxic Lead, and Reforging Bullets all were bugged this way. And so, this was a bug that a lot of people abused, let's be real. And it's about time they fixed it. It's about time they fixed it.
Correct.
And I understand why it took so long to fix it, because let's be real, it's probably, for the mod to even work, this bug needed to be there. So, I get why it was so long, but, at least they fixed it finally.
Yeah. It was something that, like, I believe Nick too mentioned, like, week 1. It was a bug that was reported many, many times, but glad they were able to get around to finally fixing it and figuring out how to go about fixing it. Again, I haven't tested this, but we'll take their word on it for this one, just because the patch notes have been really good. Unless anybody can confirm that it doesn't work anymore. I haven't been able to.
Well, also, I mean, the problem also was, people abusing it without even knowing it was a thing, right? Like, you just change your build around and suddenly you're bug abusing without even knowing. So that's definitely a good thing they fixed this.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't matter anymore. Like, to people that were abusing this, like, still continue to abuse it, I suppose. Won't get the opportunity. Not like you needed to abuse it anyways. It was just fun to abuse, right? It's one of those states in the game. Like, I'll take Diablo 2 Remastered as an example. There's a bug for, just real quick, there's a bug where you can, a glitch a boss so it can drop its, like, best loot table every single time. And the developers actually kept it in the game because it was so reminiscent to Diablo. But anyways, it's one of those things that would only benefit you, I guess, if you wanted to have more fun and just try some really busted builds. Like Firepower Pyro would have been very viable with this bug. So.
Well, yeah, but I mean, like they're saying, basically, it's not because the people were abusing it that they're fixing it. It's because people that were abusing it accidentally, inadvertently.
Yeah.
People that their builds were being wonky and inconsistent because of this bug. So it makes sense to fix it.
Oh yeah.
All right. Also, another
the
mod
next one.
we fixed, Unstoppable Force. So I'm not sure exactly how this glitch worked. I think they were basically like putting the mod on multiple places on the gear, or were they just putting it on over and over on the same slot?
Oh, so you basically mod it on, mod it off, mod it on, mod it off, mod it on, mod it off. That's it. That's all it took. Yeah, I definitely tested that off stream. But glad they fixed that as well. Yeah, it actually worked. I mean, it worked. I worked that one time, right? And it worked the one time after that, but it didn't work after that. Yeah.
Yes. No, it worked. You're wrong, Plato.
No, that's how it worked. That's what I did, and it worked.
I mean, I'm pretty sure. No, the bug was actually that people could put it on multiple times on the gear, right?
Are you sure?
And it would still work. Yeah.
I strictly remember you can like even mod over it and it would still stay as well. But maybe I was too blazed. So sorry if that was incorrect.
But yeah, basically, I watched a video of some guy, making a glitch build or something, and it was a waste of time. It was just like a dumb bug that nobody could really take advantage of because you would lose mods to abuse it. So yeah, I mean, it's a good thing they fixed it, but yeah, it doesn't change much.
I don't know this was a thing. Fix the bug that caused shards invested into sidearms / second primary weapons to cause inconsistent behavior on the primary weapon. Wow.
What?
I didn't know that was a
makes
thing.
me wonder.
Fix a bug that could cause shards invested in sidearms / secondary primary weapons to cause inconsistent behavior on primary weapons.
Makes you wonder what kind of inconsistent behavior.
Less damage or more damage is what I'm thinking, right?
Yeah.
Because would it take the shards away or would it? Yeah,
I mean, that's questionable because you don't even say what was the bug.
Yeah.
Inconsistent behavior. What do you mean?
That's
by
very
that?
vague. I would have liked more. You know what? The matter is it's fixed to what Wolverine says. I'd assume it took the shards away on the primary. It could be the other way around too. Maybe it added extra damage shards, but who knows, right? Interesting though. That one I did not know existed. Glad they fixed it. And then the last three are just resolved a issue that prevented secondary characters from picking up journal entries. That's for all you completionists there. And then the other two are crash fixes and minor bug fixes, which I always wish they would dive more deep into. And I'm going to say this every time. it it's one of those things that like always grinds. I guess is a grinds my gears situation is what crash fixes and what other minor bug fixes. Like I hate developers doing that shit on updates, man. Other minor fixes and crash fixes. Like you're already listing an extensive patch, fix note. Like just list the other ones, even if it's like 15 lists long. At least we will know what it is. But sorry, that's just me being me, and my need to always wanting to know what those mean, because it could be anything. Like what is other minor bug fixes? Like is it as minor as fix the bug that could cause shards invested into sidearms? Like, or is it like minor like journal entry stuff? Like just post it. That's my one recommendation to PCF if they watch this podcast at all, or if Capo, you can relay this to Toby as well. I would really like to have more insight into crash fixes and other bug minor fixes.
You're not gonna have it, so you can continue to want, but it's not gonna happen.
So
I've already
just add
tried.
auto sprint while you're at it too. Just add auto sprint.
I've already tried. So they say, hey, those are like minor things that sometimes people are gonna ask, and it's like sometimes like it don't even affect like we won't even notice some of the things that they're fixing, you know what I mean? Or they're just adjusting things to make something perform a little bit better or the game to run a little bit better. So you know what I mean?
Well, yeah, at some point when it's so deep in the back end, it's like
Exactly.
There's no point in explaining us
Yeah, they're not
what
gonna
we're doing, because we're not gonna understand it. Like,
exactly.
Yeah, I don't care if you don't understand it. Just do it. Just do it.
I mean, no one does it, so I mean.
Yeah, that's why someone needs to switch that dumb norm. No one does it.
No,
I'll give you a perfect example.
Other developers will just not write that in.
Yeah,
like other
exactly.
Yeah, but I'm saying there are also developers that'll write everything in, and I like that.
No, they won't. They won't.
Yes,
No,
there
they
is.
won't.
Yes, I can give you an example. I will give you an example.
They won't
Maybe not a
explain the
gaming example, but I'll give you an
to
example
you
right now.
in
Give me an
patch
example right
notes.
now.
You're wrong. Stop. Next topic.
No.
You're wrong. You
No,
are wrong.
there is an app. There's an app on Android called Reddit is Fun. The developer will literally list every tiny change he makes to the app.
Okay, but
none of
that's
this other. Yeah, I'm just saying.
That's an open source program, probably.
Exactly.
But all I'm saying is more
It's
devs
not
need
gonna
to be
happen.
more. I know it's not gonna
Is
happen.
it open source? Is it open source?
Reddit is fun. I'm not sure. The
controlling?
app's been around for years. But yeah, it's made by a third-party user. It definitely is. It's not made officially by Reddit. But it is the superior Reddit app. Anyways, we're getting super off topic. I was going on a rant. I like to know, and I want to know. Maffeine, do you want to move on to the next topic of the article with the gamer article about Outriders smaller games annual launch?
Yes. So there was an article recently. I have like a website I like to read when I wake up, usually called The Gamer, and initially I thought it was just through them, but it's actually the article's kind of spread across a few different sites now. So basically PCF has interest in working on smaller titles in between their bigger games, like to release, every couple years, every few years. But they also, they stated that they want to do yearly releases as well. So I mean, they did get those like other studios though.
I guess we'll have to wait and see if they're thinking about annual releases, right? Like we saw what a game that took 5 years to release looked like on launch, which makes me a little worrisome about what an annual release game schedule looks like.
No, but they're changing their whole plan.
They're changing
their whole direction, basically. They're gonna go for another market, right? Games that are cost like $20.
Oh, I see.
Right?
I mean, to be fair,
platformers,
this game shouldn't have cost
RPG
$60.
And roguelikes type things,
You can't say that. It's a game that came out on console and it's gonna cost $60. Just if it's a game that's on all platforms, it's gonna be $60 because you're involved in all.
What Destiny 2?
When Destiny 2 came out, it was $60.
Yeah, I know. I was just saying. Yeah.
So that's why and I'm not trying to come like at you like, oh no, it's just a lot of people have said that like this game is not worth. Now if it's a straight only PC, then yeah, I would agree with you 100%. Yeah, no, fuck that. But because we have to always understand that if it's coming out on across all platforms, the minimum you're gonna spend is $60.
Yeah,
that's just the line. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I suppose. It's just I wish it felt like a $60 game on launch. I mean, don't get me wrong, I got my money's worth, but it definitely didn't feel like a $60 game on launch. So maybe the smaller titles are a good ways of moving forward as long as those teams that they have set for it are, I guess a little bit more competent in terms of consistency when the
Yeah.
game gets released on launch. Just make sure the game is ready. Like have this patch of Outriders, ready to go, like for a launch version of whatever your annual release is going to be like. And I think it'll be in a good spot.
There's a quote in the article: with Outriders development cycle taking 6 years, the studio wants to launch smaller titles in between those longer timelines.
Which means that there could still be an
they're not-
Outriders 2.
They're not giving up on
Yeah.
the AAAs. They're basically, diversifying, which makes
Yeah.
sense.
There will not be an Outrider 2.
Well, I think there could be, like with the way the
What?
article states.
They
Because
will not be an Outrider 2.
Really?
you think so, Capo?
It's
I don't know
it's
about
not.
that.
No, I don't think so. I'm letting you know that it's not in the plans. So let's stop saying it.
Really? It's not in the plan.
Like not even 6 years from now? Not even 6 years from
Oh,
now.
It's not even a discussion right now.
Really?
Well,
Like, it's
in
not
that
a bad
case,
thing. Well, listen, no. We need to stop.
I mean, it's
that
not a
because I
bad thing,
totally
right?
agree-
Like, I want to see what
Yeah,
PCF has, but like, as an Outriders fan, that hurts.
No,
It makes
doesn't,
me-
because
It hurts.
it doesn't, because we have to sit here and we have to say, you know what? Why are we always so quick to just be like, oh man, this game has great potential. So, blah blah, fuck it, trash it and start a second one. No, we need to stop. Like,
No. I
let
don't
them
mean
fix
trash the
this.
game, but like 6 years from now,
I mean,
people would
they-
expect
they
a
could
sequel.
probably start talking about it maybe in 2 years, but it's not like something that they
Oh,
have
yeah.
sat down and been like,
Oh yeah. I understand that, but like, I doubt they're gonna give up on such a like great,
Oh, no,
roots to a
no.
game series. Yeah. See,
Eventually
the
they'll-
the way you made it, Capo, sound like they're never gonna do it. My goodness.
It's not well, just for everyone to be like, oh, I hope we get Outrider 2, just let you know right now.
Oh,
it's
I don't
not in
expect
this
an
plan.
Outriders to come out for a minimum 5 years. Minimum.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like people that want it in 2 years, it's just, or even a year from now, it's not possible. It's not gonna happen.
Yeah.
Oh no, but the whole argument, right, for Outriders 2 is that this game is just, broken to the core. Which
Well, I mean,
tend
look,
to agree
it's so
with.
much better now already. Like in terms of the patch that they like with Maff's vouchers too, right? Like, because Maff's been very critical of this game too, and this patch seems to be the patch that everybody was waiting for in terms of even multiplayer. Like I was riding on multiplayer so long in the last podcast, but what Maff said looks like more or less those connection issues have been fixed. However, did you notice any desync happening off host when you were swapping weapons and all of that?
No,
gun?
no, it was
you
fine.
didn't?
Like the
Oh.
moaning winds weren't like funky like they usually are, and like how like the like when you switch weapons, your little icon doesn't line up. It
Yeah.
actually did stay in sync.
Interesting. Okay, that's hot actually.
So, I guess the thing about the article for me is, and I'm not saying that they're giving up in Outriders in that sense. Like obviously what other than what Capo just said, but they're obviously still going to stick to their main games and stuff. The PCFs like they were known for what, like Bulletstorm and something else. So they have like their main
Gears of War.
studios, Gears as well. So they have like those, but it makes me wonder what these smaller games are that they want to release on an annual cycle. Are they going to do standalones and expand the Outriders universe, like an expansion that could be, a $20 thing that's a standalone that releases once a year? Or are they just are they going to do a Big Daddy setting and go for like a random like platformer type of thing?
Oh, I'm pretty sure that's what they're speaking about here. They're not speaking about, moving towards making small content on Outriders. I'm pretty sure they're speaking about smaller games, just a
Yeah,
different
yeah.
market
Mhm.
completely.
Yeah.
I'm
But
sure
I
it'll
mean-
make them profitable enough to hopefully go towards Outriders 2. Like just put it all in there.
I mean, to
But
come
we'll
back to
see.
Capo's point that they're not speaking about Outriders 2 right now, I mean, it makes sense because this article that Math linked, at the end speaks about the, how well Outriders did. And, I still agree with the idea that if they didn't get royalties in the first quarter, that it's not a good sign, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so maybe that's that's a big reason for why Outriders 2 is not even in the conversation right now. It's because they're
Game Pass
waiting.
is always going to be in the conversation when the royalties
Oh
come
no
into
no no!
play.
But they're waiting. They're waiting because they don't know what happened. They don't they're in a limbo. Like the game was the game successful enough to make us money or not? So right now they're just that's probably why they're not speaking about Outriders 2.
Which is fine too, because like we'll get this in the end a little bit, but like New Horizons supposedly is supposed to be launching soon, so like everybody asking about Outriders 2, there's still going to be content coming for Outriders 1. You're not going to get a new class or anything like that, but there's going to be more content for you to come back to and play. And when the new content releases, I'll definitely come back and grind like I always do. I still love Outriders to the core of the game. The shooting power fantasy mechanic is just very satisfying, and the gameplay loop is also very satisfying. But to one of the points that Maff asked is, could Outriders take the back burner instead? And to what Capo said, I think they already are there, right? But they'll focus on Outriders 2, I suppose, more so in the future, just because I doubt they would give up on such a really great game, like really great game at the end of the day.
I mean, it might be a good thing as well. Maybe their idea is leaving Outriders 1 on a good note before moving on.
Exactly. And I wish, and I'm glad that they're doing that too, and they're just not like giving us a broken state of Outriders and be like, hey, you want all the bug fixes? Buy Outriders 2, right? Because that's like a cash grab, and people will see that like a cash grab.
Yeah,
but fully investing your time into Outriders 1, fixing everything that the community has been talking about, making those changes, leaving your game in a very, very A+ tier state is always going to bring people back to Outriders 2. Like, look at what happened with this devs, right? Like, PCF had a really rough start, but then they got their shit together, and people that were like going into Outriders 2, if they never touch an Outriders 1 with I'm not sure, do I buy this game? Are they going to give up on Outriders 1? They'll know that they're not going to give up on it because we're seeing it right now, right?
Yeah. They honestly, I like what they're doing, right? And at the end of the day, if Outriders
Like Lost Capo?
no. What ends up happening is that they're gonna sit here and they're gonna try to fix this game, which I think they should. Just like you said, don't make it a cash grab. Don't run away from it and be like, fix the game, get it done, and then you move forward from there. Everyone is real quick to just say go Outriders 2, or something else that they're trying to stay away from is live service game. They don't want that. They've made that very, very, very known. They don't want that. But what is everyone saying? Outrider 2 live service. It has to be. It needs to be. But why? Why does it have to be? Why do we have to compare it to Division and Destiny? Like, let them.
Well, I guess
take their
Division
own
and
lane.
Destiny kind of set the norm that people are getting used to. Maybe I feel like live service games are so prevalent now. It seems shocking that sometimes
But
game
Borderlands
that has
is
the
not.
potential to be live service.
But Borderlands is not.
I suppose so, but at the same time, Borderlands kind of feels live service. If I'm gonna be honest,
But I mean,
They do really good at updating
right?
on a
They say it's not a
cadence.
live service, but it literally plays like a live service game. If I'm gonna be honest.
so just because they fix things, you know what I'm saying? But it's not like it has something like Division and Destiny where it's a weekly change. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
And that's what we have to understand. Just because they're sitting here and they're fixing bugs or they're fixing your game every week and letting you know what they're fixing so that way you can be playable, that's not what a live service is. Live service is, hey, we're giving you content consistently,
And
whether it's minor or major.
yeah, and to be honest, I don't really play that many live service games, so I don't see the need for every game being a live service. I was just making a counter argument, but
No, as you should. But it's just, I think they're doing a fantastic job. And personally,
100%.
if you ask me, take your fucking time. It sucks.
Yep.
I get frustrated. I get totally fucking upset. But you know what? Take your time, because eventually that game will be in a state that even live service games are not in. And it's going to be good. And it's going to be very minor bugs. But Division and Destiny, they still have major bugs. But you don't, people complain about it, but they leave it alone. So I think let's let them take their time.
Yeah, I agree with that. But I'll say this, right? I don't necessarily want live service for Outriders 2 or whatever, but dedicated servers that I
Yes.
want for sure.
Yeah.
I agree with you.
Like
I agree with
Yeah.
you.
that's
However-
so obviously the major problem for this game is the P2P. Like
I
just
do want to
have
try the
dedicated
P2P
servers.
now, you know, with
Yeah,
after
but
what Mav said, because and
it's
Capo
getting
said a
better.
good point as well, is that yeah, this patch took a long time to come out, but if they fix that huge multiplayer issue in those 5 months, I say thanks for waiting 5 months, giving us a patch that actually fixed it. I personally haven't been able to test it, but from Mav's what Mav has been saying, it
Perspective.
looks like multiplayer options is like for the P2P, it's in a very respectable state now versus what it
Right.
was since the game's release.
I mean,
Right,
depends if depends if Toxic Lead works off host. It depends if
Yeah,
weapon
yeah,
desync
yeah.
still
That's what I
happens.
wanna
Depends
know.
if you
Okay.
can open doors. Can you
So
open
here's the
doors
thing.
off host, right? Like I'd have to test it to know for sure.
So here's something else. Now I'm glad you brought that up. I thought about it at the beginning, and then now you reminded me again.
Well,
Toxic
Halo
Lead.
says it's still shit, so thanks, Halo. Same thing with Kane. Sorry,
Okay,
Capo,
so
go
I
ahead.
got the opposite concerning about Toxic Lead. Apparently,
Explain.
you don't have to kill when you're off host. So if once you apply the status effect, they said sometimes it just gives it to you right back before you even killing the enemy.
Is that off host or on host as well?
Off host. Well, I was off host, not on host. On host is working the same way it's always worked. But off host, I was told that they were shooting and they were getting their rounds back before they killed the enemy. Now we
Well,
could
what
we
was
could
the
we could
HP of
say
the
it's
enemy? Yeah,
desync.
yeah,
It could be
yeah,
like it could be like maybe desync that maybe the enemy was already dead or they've already killed the enemy, and you know what I mean. So I don't know. I didn't get too deep into the weeds of it, but that was something that was passed to me through the DMs. So
I
now
mean,
my question would
without like
be,
actual further testing and like videos, like I would say it's so minor, like it still doesn't
So
work
I-
as intended off host. I
right.
suppose
So
we can
I
say,
would
but, like,
say like which one would you prefer, right? Obviously we wanted to work it the way it's intended to work. But
yeah,
now
I would want it to work the
I'm
way it's on
curious.
host, off host. That's what I want. No in betweens at
Right.
all. That's what it should
Right.
be at. Yeah,
You're
there's no like we can't have an in between with the mod, right? A mod says something but does something differently on host versus off host. You can't play like that.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So it's either they fix it or they remove the mod and figure out a replacement that works. That's better if they can't. Fix
Absolutely.
It.
Absolutely.
Those are their two choices. They can't have like some in between janky shit that works half the time.
Right. Yeah. I have something. Do I? Let me see. Let me see if I can say this. Let me see. Let me just read this and then I'll see if I can dabble into this. Okay. Start with the next topic. I don't want people to be sitting here quiet like, oh shit. What happened?
Okay,
Tell
sure.
us.
Matt, did you want to dive more into this part of the article before we move on? Actually, since this is something that
No.
no, you should go.
No, not really. Yeah, honestly, the next topic, I'm really curious about that.
Oh yeah, I mean I can go for days on the next topic, but I'll keep it short. The next topic Mav has is really one that resonates with me right now and applies to myself and Big Daddy in here as well.
Just don't speak
and
about the
Capo.
game you're playing. Speak
I
about
won't.
Outriders, okay?
I
We'll
will.
keep it
I will.
short.
I will. Yeah. What's it like playing another title primarily instead of Outriders? Mav has a point that says, do you appreciate Outriders more or recognize more flaws in the game now that you're on a break? Will the fall releases hurt on Outriders? So for me, I do recognize more of the flaws in Outriders with the game that I'm currently playing because the multiplayer experience is a lot better. The whole game
Dedicated
experience
servers.
dedicated servers. It just wins. And will these fall releases hurt Outriders? 100% will hurt Outriders. If Outriders population wasn't dwindling already, with releases like New World and other titles around this time, with the upcoming Battlefield 2042, etc., I definitely think these fall releases will hurt Outriders. However, when they launch the new content, I drop everything and come back.
Totally.
That's my
yeah.
take. Yeah.
But go back to the first point. So do you appreciate Outriders more or do you like it less?
Oh no,
Recognize
I
more
said
flaws.
earlier. I recognize more of the flaws. I definitely like it less.
Okay, why? Say
Why?
more about that.
Because
Because he
I definitely like
recognizes
it
the
less. Yeah,
flaws.
yeah, yeah. Well, yeah, because I've always complained about the multiplayer issues. I've always complained about certain mods not working when they're not working, and it's refreshing to play a game where multiplayer works as intended, where a skill says something and it does something as intended. Like, okay, 98% of the time. Sure, there might be a little bugs here or there that I can fix, but the consistency is what I recognize, and that's what makes the game I'm currently playing a lot more fun, is the consistent multiplayer experience. I'm able to play with my friends without, molding about, the desync, the enemies dying before I'm even able to react to them. Like, the doors, like being close to the door, stuff like that is not an issue, right? Because of those dedicated servers. And just the whole fact that everything runs as intended, for the most part. Sure, there's still gonna be crashes here and there, but like, do I have to worry about like certain mods on my gear or certain attributes not working? No, because they work 100% of the time. Uh, and that's what makes me recognize more of the flaws in Outriders, and that's why it makes me appreciate Outriders less in that regard.
Yeah, I mean, to the same point, I wanted to say, I mean, I do like Outriders. I've always liked the game. I'll keep liking it, but uh, what I do recognize now that I've stopped playing it for a bit and played a new game is the lack of build variety. Because what I like to do in games is try out the entire game, have fun with these different builds, these different abilities, test everything out, and then usually I stop playing the game. But in Outriders, that's been done for months. The build variety is just not there in Outriders, compared to the game I'm playing right now, where I still have something to chase, a new build I can try, and it's going to be somewhat viable. It's not going to be the best, but I can still use it and have fun with it. And I think that is something that I've always said Outriders lacks massively. I'll keep saying it, and honestly, it just made me more convicted about this fact.
Um,
What about you,
you cut
Capo?
off. Okay, so I'm gonna be a little bit different. So obviously with me, just with my experience with other games, um, I truly appreciate Outriders. At one point in time, because I was just so tired of the division, I was like, oh my God, this is like almost better than division. But then I had to come back to my senses and be like, bro, you just needed a break, right? You needed to get away from it and that game and some of the bugs that it has. And I think what happens is sometimes we get into these games that we love so much and we get so frustrated with what's wrong with the game, that when we go play something else, it kind of devalues the game, right? So like obviously I've been playing New World like a madman,
Yeah.
and there's still certain aspects that when I am playing New World, obviously it's an MMO, it's not a looter shooter, so it's a little bit different. But there is
Mm-hmm.
varieties of builds here, and I do like varieties of build. I do agree with Big Daddy because in Division, I mean, I have a loadout with 13 different builds. Um, but where I do appreciate is some of the game mechanics that Outriders have that I can't get anywhere else. Very great gunplay. I can't get that anywhere else. You know what I'm saying? Just the style that the game has, it's different. So I'm one of those individuals that I tend not to look at the flaws, right? Because to me personally, it's not a flaws unless it hinders me. And there hasn't been a flaw in Outrider that has stopped me from being able to complete the game, from being able to legitimately play the game. So that's just how I see it, right? Because at the end of the
Well, I mean, I
day,
guess you can say that about any game, though, right?
well, I
There's
mean,
not
there
many
is some
flaws to
games,
complete the game. Well, on average, but like
right,
there's many
right,
flaws in the process of enjoying the game fully. But yeah, I get your
right.
point.
And, and we have enjoyed it. Have and I think we, and when I say we, I mean like I would say top tier players. We're a little bit, we get a little bit more frustrated because we nitpick, right? There's things that we want to do, right? If we're speed runners, we want to go faster, and then we start seeing and noticing the things that other peoples will never see because they're not trying to go fast as us. But then we overlook some of the things that the casuals see because hey, it doesn't get in our way, but it gets in their way, right? Um, I still appreciate Outriders. Um, I think this break is great. I think we've all needed it. Um,
I
and
agree.
I think when that time comes, that they say, hey, here's something new. We're gonna come back, whether it be a month, 2 or 3 months. We're gonna come back. I'm gonna be like, holy shit, man! I forgot how much fun this game was. You know what I mean? Because
Oh
we've
yeah.
lost that sight already. We've lost it. So, I still appreciate the game, but I think just with every single game that you play, you just need a break. You know what I mean? You just need a break. If you're married and you have kids, sometimes you want to take your kids and you want to strangle them, but no, what you do, you send them to the grandparents' house and you and your wife, you go off and you go on a vacation, you go to dinner, and then when you come back, you're like, you know what? You, you motherfuckers ain't that bad. You know what I'm saying?
Thanks
You
for the
motherfuckers
IRL
ain't that
analogy,
bad.
Capo.
You know what I'm saying?
Oh, you're saying basically Stockholm syndrome, right? Like,
Yeah.
you come back to people you.
Yeah, yeah. No, but listen, I'm enjoying this break. We all need a break, and I'm gonna be
Yeah.
completely honest with y'all. Outriders is okay with that. PCF is
Yeah.
okay with that. Square Enix is okay with that. If anything, they encourage it. Like, hey, we're in a process. We are remaking, we are rebuilding, or whatever the case may be, how you want to word it. We're fixing things. It's okay. It's okay. We're not gonna forget about you. You know, and I'll tell you this much. The patch came out on Tuesday. I DM'd Toby. You know what Toby said? Say, man, I know you're knee deep in a 36-hour subathon. Don't worry about it. I got you. We're still working. What? That's amazing to me. That a company's willing to say, hey, we're working right now. But when we come back, we're gonna be better than ever. And that's why I'm so confident in the game. And when other people just bash it in their YouTubes or in their, you know, what they so-called podcasts, I just look at them like, really, dude? Like, really? Is that what we doing now? You know what I'm saying? But I bet you this patch right here, if they play the game, they're gonna enjoy all these fixes, but they're still gonna put a negative input into it. And I'm avoiding the negative input. That's
Yeah.
just where I'm standing. I'm just trying to avoid the negative input. So I still appreciate the game.
Yeah.
It's a great
I'm still
break.
like calling on PCF on some stuff is, you know,
As
always
you should,
necessary.
as
But
we all
yeah,
should.
but there's no need for like targeted, you know, just rants that
I mean,
same thing you've been saying for the past 3 months.
Capo brings up a great point, which is this is the downtime, right? Like, this is not a live service game. This is a,
Yeah.
you know, you get the content out of the game that you want personally, and then you stop playing it. So I do
Mhm.
agree with that aspect 100%. And not only that, but also the idea that the downtime we're having will be beneficial in the end game, because when the new content releases, right, and we haven't played the game for like a month, let's say, like maybe we all
Yeah.
take a longer break and we don't play the game for a month and we come back for the new content, and they actually did enough fixes by that point that we notice the difference immediately. That's something they should aim for, and I do agree with that point of view.
And I'm gonna just tell you this, because I can't tell you everything.
This guy again.
But they're gonna bring something back.
They're gonna
So
bring
that
something
way-
back.
So
I really
that
hope
way-
it's something. I
Hold
hope what
on,
they bring
hold
back
on.
is something I suggested to Toby. Please let it be the case.
Nah, no trickster shit. Okay.
Okay,
listen.
well, I'm not excited.
No, they're gonna bring something back that they did, that they were doing. And
Money
let's
wins?
just say
Fortress? Money wins probably.
and
Dedicated
let's
servers.
let's just
Ooh,
say
dedicated servers.
that
Nick 2? Sorry.
hopefully- hopefully next week there'll be more information. You know what I'm saying? They'll start, you know, so just know that Little Pebbles are gonna, you know, they're gonna start giving us a little bit of breadcrumbs. Not the kind of breadcrumbs we want, but just something to kind of sit us up because we've been slouching in our chair. You know what I mean? They'll be like,
That's a
oh,
good
wait
reminder.
a minute. Yeah.
I mean, it'd
Get
be
my
about
posture
time,
check.
you know? I don't need content. I need a teaser. Give me like that juicy
Uh-huh.
teaser to pull
No,
me
no,
in.
no,
Give
no,
me like a 1 minute YouTube teaser about New Horizon, if that's what you're
wait a
hinting at,
minute,
Capo.
Wait a minute.
Ooh.
Hey,
No,
hey,
no,
hey,
that's 5
hey,
seconds.
hey,
I'll
hey,
take a
shh.
5 second screenshot.
Plato, you're talking too much.
Screenshot that
Plato.
doesn't
You're
do.
talking too much.
Look,
Plato.
hey, I know nothing. No one's told me anything. But, you know,
You're
like if
talking
this is what
too
Capo is
much.
hinting, I can connect the dots and say maybe they're going to put a teaser trailer up. You don't know.
Listen, you're talking too much. I'm not gonna say, but there was something that they used to do that we used to do something with it, and then it stopped,
Yeah, they
and
used to
then
do
the
dev
game.
streams.
So,
I wonder what it is now, Capo. You can't say anything about it, but I wonder what it.
so but hopefully
Thank you,
next
So
Matt.
you basically you waited for Maffeine to say it and then said yes. So you
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm
basically
saying.
said it.
I didn't say it.
You didn't say it.
Um,
Maffeine said it. Maffeine, my
Capo
man.
confirms dev streams coming up next week.
No, I didn't confirm next week. I'm just saying.
Capo didn't
guys,
confirm anything. Maffeine
I
just
didn't
connected the
confirm
dots in
anything.
his super IQ.
All I'm saying is that time. Remember, Toby came in the stream and he said what? Sooner and
And
bigger
more.
word. Yeah, and
Yeah.
bigger
And
than
bigger.
what we thought. So just to know that I think that time is around the corner.
Nice. I like quarters.
And the fact that the what you would call it, that the multiplayer is looking better. I think the server is only going to get better. And remember this real quick. There was a game that Square Enix had that was a looter shooter, right? Or was a looter game, right? Multiplayer that had the same server issue. And if you go play that game right now, it doesn't have it anymore.
What game was
What,
that?
Avengers?
Mm-hmm.
Are they better?
Yeah, way better. Not only that, but now they've invested on making the loot, not only the loot drop, but the loot better to apply to each characters. So now so I'm just sitting here like, yo, you've taken this game and you've actually made it to what it was supposed to be whenever it released, right? But Outriders is, top tier for them. So what I've said before, and I've said this before, they've learned from their mistakes from that game. And I promise you that they're not going to allow Outriders to go as long as Adventures did with these bugs. You know what I mean?
I mean,
So,
I'll say this about Avengers, right? That's the game,
yeah.
Marvel's Avengers.
Marvel's
Mhm.
Avengers.
I mean, it's got a 1/5 basically of the all-time peak on Steam, right? So you know that there's a difference in popularity on both these games. But I mean, to say that they salvaged Avengers, I don't think they did.
They
I don't think they did.
I mean,
Honestly.
I mean, they salvaged the game, but people were just over it, right? And they've
Yeah.
learned from that, and they're not going to
And
allow that to happen with Outriders.
Didn't
I mean, I
Avengers
hope
only
that's
come out a
true.
few months? You know what I
I
mean?
hope
I
that's
feel like
true, but,
the
like,
yeah.
Avengers is just not doing well.
So
And-
Avengers.
Well,
They tried to
Aven-
make it to buff it up, but it's not working.
But they
out.
just
They
took too
should
long.
just let
They took too
Insomniac
long.
do it, honestly.
Yeah,
Sorry.
they just
True.
took too long with it.
Like, if I'll be honest, like, giving Square Enix control of Avengers when you saw what Insomniac did with Spider-Man, like, any other Marvel title is going to Insomniac for the foreseeable future, in my opinion, as it should. Sorry to go off topic, but the new Wolverine game, I'm so glad it's being done by Insomniac. If it was done by any other game dev company, I wouldn't have bought it. But now that
Well,
it's
no,
done
but
by
Square-
Insomniac, even though I don't give a shit about Wolverine, I'm gonna buy it and play it.
Square Enix wasn't selling,
Oh, the rights? Yeah.
No, I mean Square Enix wasn't selling a one-off game to Marvel. That's the thing. They were selling a live service game that would make them money,
Oh,
over
I see.
time.
Yeah, I guess
Right?
so.
So that's why they went with Square Enix. For that
Well,
game.
I
But
mean,
it's
for Marvel's
a lot
reputation, I
different
hope they don't do that in the future with Square Enix, because that's such a flop game. Just saying, Marvel.
Yeah.
Look at Insomniac.
But that's what I'm saying. I will tell you that I think that's the approach that Square Enix is going with Outriders. Hey, we're not going to allow Outriders to go down the path that Avengers went. Okay? Because we're too late. We're behind the power curve. There ain't nobody coming back to Avengers unless you do some crazy ass shit. And when I say crazy ass shit, I mean you need to make a new Avenger game. You know what I'm saying? Because ain't
Yeah.
nobody's going to play this one.
I
You
played
know?
the demo, and oh my god, Capo, it was the most miserable experience of my life. It was
Listen to
just-
me.
Wow.
I maxed tier 2 players, and I said, why? That's time that I'm never gonna get back in my life.
And
I could have been doing something better. You know what I mean?
I watched Psychotic Wolf play, and it looked so bad, honestly.
You know. So I think that Outriders is not gonna go down that path. I'm also gonna say, listen to me, chat out there, and you folks, YouTube world, Reddit world, like if you're gonna listen to anyone and you're gonna try to follow anyone or you're gonna want to get any advice on where this game is going, Voices of Enoch is the place to be. Because I'm gonna
My
tell you
man,
right now, between
self-promo.
the four of us, between all four of us, I promise you, we haven't been wrong on anything that has came out of Outriders. Nor Plato, nor Big Daddy, nor myself, or I'm sorry, Dude with the Blunt. We haven't said anything and then kind of backstep or kind of say it's about time to kind of salvage the stuff that we've said before. We've been on point, we've been on track, and the fact that I'm an ambassador, Maffeine, hopefully future ambassador, along with Plato and with Dude with the Blunt, being a future tester, hopefully. Um, we're on point with what we've been saying. So just make sure you guys are just staying on track with us because I promise you, everything that we're saying has either already happened or is starting to come to light.
And no clickbaiting here, unless it's some of my YouTube videos, which are clickbaity, but also very informative. But I just clickbait. I meme to clickbait. Sorry, I just meme to clickbait. So it's fun. But yeah.
But it's good, man. I'm more excited of coming back. I'm not excited to play right now. I'm excited to come back to it.
Yeah, no, that's fair. So to finish off this podcast, the last topic, if you were PCF, when would you release the next DLC? In quotations, New Horizons.
Well, I mean, stay tuned for a week for a dev news stream, I guess.
No,
or a week or two.
No, but I mean, just in our opinions, right?
I would say, if it was me, I would have to find out because there's so many things that's gonna happen, right? The game, you have to look at the state of the game, right, and where this game is at, and then you have to look at the schedule. When is Division dropping their new content? When is Destiny dropping, Witch Queen or Queen Witch, whatever it's called. And then there's other looter shooters out there. There's other games that people are looking to. Now you have Battlefield.
I know Final
also
Fantasy has new content coming out in November too, if I recall correctly. Not that I care about Final Fantasy in any way, shape, or form.
Q1 2022.
Yeah. So
I agree.
So no.
You can't do that.
You can't do that.
You got Witch Queen on February 22nd. You got
Witch Queen on February 22nd?
Yeah. You got Rainbow Six Extraction in January 28th or something.
That's big.
In that case, release it when you're ready and fuck all. I mean, don't care about that kind of release dates then.
Like
because something's always coming out.
The market is too saturated these days. Like that's not, there's always going to be something coming out.
This is what I say, right? Because this is what I think. So Maffeine just said Rainbow Six in January, right? A month later, because you'll probably be, about that month mark with Rainbow Six Siege. You'll be like, all right, I'm good. I'm ready for Destiny to go back to Destiny now, right? For Witch Queen, that's February. If you're not gonna do it in November, December, and Division hasn't said when they're dropping it, so if Division drops December, they're legitimately gonna have to wait till like maybe March, possibly April. And I think if you even wait to that point, I mean that's dangerous.
And more stuff will come out by then. So
exactly. So I would say November. Like you have about 30 days. 30 to 60 days.
About 30 days. Yeah.
No, Christmas is just not gonna happen, honestly.
I agree with you.
I highly doubt that we'll get a DLC for Christmas. That's what I think.
I agree with you. I 100%. But you have to be smart because, okay, Maffeine, right? You and I know a lot of Destiny guys. I don't know about Plato and Dude with the Blunt. But February 22nd, Outriders says, "Hey, here's new content and Witch Queen's drop. What are you playing? Or what are your Destiny guys that you play Destiny with? What are they playing?"
I'd say 95% of the people I know that played Destiny as well are playing that instead.
Yeah.
Well, obviously, because they play Destiny primarily. That's
that's fine because Destiny is another game that is another market that Outriders is not trying to aim at in any way. That's the thing. Like it's not a live service game.
But it's gonna fail though. What I'm trying to point is that it's gonna fail. So you have to be very, very strategic on when you're gonna drop it.
No, you don't.
Honestly,
Like, at the end of the
I agree with
day,
Big Daddy here. I don't think it matters when they drop it. They drop it when they're ready. I think if they focus too much on like, oh, XYZ game, there's always going to be XYZ game that's going to be bigger than Outriders DLC drop. Let's be completely honest here. Okay.
Yeah.
And Outriders DLC drop is not something that many people are looking forward to in the grand scheme of things. If we're going to be honest, right? I don't think there's 120. Do you think there's honestly like over 100,000 people waiting for an Outriders DLC versus
Yes.
100,000 people waiting to get to the next Destiny or whatever, right?
I
You really
think
think
there's
so?
100,000. I think there's 100,000. I don't. Okay, I would say 100,000, in between 100,000 to maybe about, and I'm a exaggerate here, but maybe 300,000. That's me exaggerating.
I mean, I
If
get like
you,
if the game releases new content, people are going to come back in Game Pass, everything included,
yes,
right? But like, how much is it going to
yes,
retain? I think is the question we have to be asking for. I don't think it matters
exactly,
when they drop the content, honestly, because people are going to come back. I think how many
right.
people are they going to retain is what they should be focusing on versus when to drop the content. IMO.
I
So
don't,
when they're ready,
I don't.
drop it is. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think that. Once again, I don't think it's gonna surpass the 6-week retainment process. You know what I mean? I just think it's
I mean,
gonna be
not
that
to the
point
most
where,
casual players, but like I'm sure for
yeah.
like the median to hardcore players, maybe like another a year out of it. Maybe I don't know.
Well, I mean, we'll see. I mean, with that article, just if you read that article, just know that Outriders is a part of that article. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
So at least for
just
me,
do know that.
Maffeine and Capo, I think if I'm PCF, they release it when they feel comfortable releasing it, and like not try to focus too much on a time window,
So I would
And
ask you
I think
this.
I think the more important question is, are they going to charge for this DLC, or are they going to give it give it to the community as a
No,
community
you're gonna
package
charge.
saying
yeah,
we're sorry,
No, you're gonna charge. You have to.
they
You
haven't
have
made
to.
money. Where's the
No,
royalties they need to charge for the DLC,
yeah, no,
buddy?
no.
I was just being hopeful. I was just being
Yeah,
hopeful. You know what I mean?
but
Yeah, yeah.
let's be real though.
I'm gonna buy it
It's all,
regardless. So
once again across all platforms, you're gonna have to charge.
yeah,
You're gonna
I
have
think
to
you're
charge.
correct
Now,
there.
I will say this though. It better not be no $40 charge. I'm gonna pay the $40, but that
I'm gonna pay the
100,000,
$40.
yeah,
Yeah.
that 100,000 number that I said yeah to, that I switch it. I'm gonna switch it and be like, no, you're not getting 100,000 people to come back to this game or even play this game for a $40 DLC.
My
And if you're
question
gonna,
is, sorry.
you know,
Yeah.
it would have to be. So I would say, give it a price, you know, charge it. But then my question to you before you ask me a question is, are you saying that release it when you're ready because of our experience, you know what I mean, with Outriders on how, buggy it was on release, and you rather them make sure that the next DLC expansion, whatever the case may be, is on point, vice just trying to rush it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wait, but also, to bring it back to the point of when to release it, I think something to keep in mind is that a game like Destiny, right? If they release the DLC February 22, people when they play Destiny, right, at some point they'll just log in every week, like Tuesday, I think it is, right? And at
Yeah.
that point, they'll be looking for something to play, and oh look, an Outriders DLC released like 1 month ago or 2 months ago, so they'll buy it, they'll play it like a month, and then they'll stop. So they don't need to worry about these release dates as much because their content is one and done, right? You don't need to be there to catch up.
That's
You just
true.
play through the content,
That's
and then
true.
your builds are done. You did the content, you move on. So
So,
I
so
don't
like a
think they need
thing.
to worry. They need to worry so much. Like it's better like if they think about the long term, right? People
Right.
don't buy
Okay.
the other month and the next one after that, so they need to make it juicy and work, and people it's got it. So when somebody looks at it, it's everybody's talking good about it. You know what I mean?
So make it a filler then. Like, right, I'm done with Witch Queen. I've done everything. I've completed it. I've got all the exotics or whatever. Damn, what am I gonna play? Because I can't jump back again into Destiny until next week Tuesday. Oh, wait
Yeah,
a minute, I
yeah,
got Outriders to play now.
exactly.
Big
That
Daddy brings
that
up a good point
that's
there, honestly.
that is good. That is very good. I agree with you there. GG's.
Like
Touche.
so they don't need to worry so much about when to release it and making that money on the release day. They need to worry more about the community reaction to the DLC. Honestly, that's
Yeah.
what I see they need to worry the most about. Because if it's in any way negative, the game is dead basically.
But here's the thing. I know you guys are saying like a $40 DLC is out of the question, but if it was a $40 DLC, I would expect a lot more content versus a $20 DLC if you want to look at it that way.
Well, listen. No, I mean, when you say a lot
know.
more content for $40, like it better damn near be like another game. You know what I'm saying? I would say at most you keep it at 30, with the aspect of we're on the other side, or we're in a different part of the planet. So that's a new campaign that leads into a whole new expeditions, and you just give us one class. That's it. $30.
I would actually love an additional class, to be honest, because
$30.
Yeah.
Nah, Palm. It's not. $30 is what you pay for expansions nowadays. You have to look at it of what you're getting. And Division charges you $30 for an expansion, and they'll give you less than what I just finished saying. And they go crazy for that.
Oh yeah, I mean, you want to talk about value for content? Fucking Destiny is off the charts. Like you pay so much money to play that game.
Exactly. Good point right there. Good point, dude. So that's what I would just say. You charge us $30. You give us what I just finished saying. I promise you're gonna get 100,000 people. You'll get it.
I honestly think $20 is more respectable.
Would you agree, as a Destiny player, that the game costs a lot of money?
It's really, really, you're like, so if you didn't get the legendary edition and that had access to like every season or whatever, and you wanted to like access like one of the extra events from the previous season, you had to pay $30 to get access to the previous 2 seasons. And that's just like from seasonal pass stuff, just for that upgrade. Yeah,
So
on average it's like 30-40.
So it's like there's an expansion, but not only you have to pay for the expansion, you have to pay for the seasons inside the expansion.
Season pass, yeah.
It's insane. Like, so, when people speak about content and all that, I'm like, yeah, but how much are you paying for the content?
I'm kind of scarred from, like bad releases and stuff like that, right? Like when it comes to like my main game for the longest time was like Titanfall 2, and that, that was between Call of Duty and Battlefield, and I tend to like go straight to that when I'm thinking about game release. But like in this situation, I think you guys are right. Like this will be like the side game, like between the Destiny content, between I guess New World at this point, between other stuff. Like this definitely could be, I don't think the release date really matters that much. Like, yeah, you guys are definitely spot on with this.
Maffeine is the battered wife in the Outriders and Maffeine relationship. He says,
Yeah.
I'm scarred.
Yeah, this game scarred me, man.
Oh my god.
I mean, yeah, I see what you're saying. Yeah.
What we got? That's it for us today?
That was the last topic. Yeah.
I got some New World grind to do, guys.
You got some New World grinding to do. I got some grinding to do myself with.
I will tell you this: I've never been a part of a game that. What today is Friday? I have spent 14 hours in total in a queue.
Wait, you are in a 14-hour queue right now to get into playing the game?
No. So the first day when it dropped, I was in a 5-hour queue.
Oh, hold on. Before we go on off tangent, let's end the podcast correctly. All right.
Yes.
Thank you everybody for tuning into the podcast. I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you as well for all the comments and mentions in the chat to keep it going. Hope I replied to some as I could during the topic to get it to get it. I don't know what the word I'm looking for here is, but to get it flowing. You can always catch us at our socials. You can catch me at twitch.tv/PlatoBear and PlatoBear on YouTube as well. I'm also on Twitter. If you want to send me a follow there, that'd be appreciative, but I don't really care about Twitter too much. You can find Dude with a Blunt at Dude with a Blunt on YouTube and Twitch, correct? I believe? Correct.
Yes.
And then you can find Maffeine only on twitch.tv/Maffeine. He does not have a YouTube channel. And then we don't care about Capo. Thank you again, guys, for tuning in. Appreciate you. And we will see you next week. Peace.